Hey everybody, we're doing the next video with State Representative Danny McCormick on the budget that's getting ready. Is it House Bill 1 or Senate Bill 1? What is it? I'm going to let him tell us all about it because we're all hearing whether they're going to cap the spending like they should in D.C. or whether they're going to spend it like they're doing in D.C., which is putting us in debt.
You know, for your viewers, they can ask themselves one simple question. One budget is the Drunken sailor budget. We spend everything we got today and we don't worry about tomorrow. The second budget is this keep our kids and grandkids budget. Do you want your kids and grandkids to stay here today, or do you tomorrow and the next day, or do you want to party today? What the budget the House passed and sent to the Senate was a responsible one. You see my pen, don't you?
Yeah, his pen says 36.
36 stands for the number of state representatives that it takes to keep from busting the spending cap. And I've branded myself as one of the 36.
I love this. So are there people stopping you right now saying, hey, will you please consider letting us bust the spending cap?
You know, they don't hit me up very often. I'm pretty solid, I'm pretty principled, and they may be going to a softer target. But, you know, you have to be principled to stand in this place.
Especially the third big old 36 there.
That's exactly right. 36 out of 105, all it takes to give you a responsible budget.
So you're not going out drinking and spending money tonight, right?
Actually, I tell everybody I don't drink, I don't smoke, I don't do drugs anymore. You know, 40 years ago that may have been a different. I would do, but I don't have moderation in me, so I'm not able to do those things.
So, like our U.S. Congress, where the House has the purse strings and they create a budget, and then they send it on to the Senate. Is that what you all have done?
That's basically what we've done. Yes.
So now, after a long debate, it's over at the Senate going to the Senate side, correct?
That's correct.
And it's a responsible budget that does not bust the spending cap.
That's right.
Okay. Are there
and it pays off debt.
It pays off debt. And from what I also understand is a lot of people got beat up a little bit because they did not pass teachers' pay raises. But this spending bill that you all passed pays off some of that teacher debt, correct?
Yes, and this is the key point you need to remember. It pays off debt, and that part of that debt belongs to the local school boards. So the local school boards can take the money that we've saved them and raise the teachers' pay locally. So we pay off the teachers' retirement debt, number one, and we free up money at the locals to give the teachers raise. This is, those teachers are going to eventually retire.
Right, exactly.
And they don't need a retirement system that's
unfunded liabilities.
That's right. So this is the responsible way to handle it. You know, what we need to concentrate on in Louisiana is getting fiscally conservative and doing away with the state income tax.
So this would be like so you guys pass what will be like the Dave Ramsey method.
Yeah, you're right. That's exactly right. You know, we called Dave Ramsey up and said, "Hey, Dave, what do you think about spending all our money today or paying off debt?" And I was shocked, but he said paying off debt. You know.
And if you all, the other one, does the Senate do you already have a notion of what the Senate might do?
Well, they're testing the waters over in the House. You know, I mean, when there's the Drunken sailor budget that they're supporting, you know, it's really nice when you start slinging the money around to some people, but I don't see it happening. I see the Senate, I see the House holding solid. What we have right now is we're in election year, and the constituents are actually paying closer attention than they usually do. Number two, we're fixing to have a Republican governor. Do we want to leave a Republican governor with a deficit that he's forced to raise taxes the first year in? Or do we want to be responsible, put back for a rainy day, pay off debt, keep our spending under the control? Do we believe in smaller government and less taxes and less fees? Do we want to get rid of the personal income tax, or do y'all want to pay more? I mean, do you want to pay more personal income tax so we can spend like drunken sailors down here?
Right.
Or do you want to pay zero?
Now, you made a good point. On my show, I regularly talk about how the pendulum swings. And there's a lot of, you'll get the liberal Democrats on one side who won't want a certain law or will want a certain law. But the reality is when that pendulum swings the other way on our government, on who controls our legislature, those same laws can be used against them in other ways.
You need to, when we make a law, I tell everybody, you need to think I'm in the minority. Now, what would they do with this stick that I'm creating today? When you need to pass every law like you will be in the minority, and you will suffer for that.
And to your point, when you said, do we want to leave a Republican governor a deficit where they have to raise taxes? The same thing to Democrats.
That's right.
That might be opposing this legislation. You might say, hey, look, you guys might oppose it now because you want to spend the money on some programs that might benefit or whatever, some areas. But if you guys get a Democrat governor, he's going to have to raise taxes.
That's right.
And then you all will never get another Democrat elected again in a higher office for a long time.
It's just do you want to? There, I will say this: there are infrastructure needs in our towns and our cities, our roads. We have serious infrastructure needs, but we have to get our house in order first. I mean, we cannot just keep throwing good money after bad. We have to take care of the people of the state, and then these businesses will become successful, and we'll create more and more tax revenue. It's been proven: the less taxes you have, the more free enterprise, the more free market principles you have, our income down here will grow. The less we take, the more we get.
Exactly.
It's that simple.
And to your point, what's going on right now is if I'm broke and my credit cards are maxed out, do I go home and raise my credit limit and borrow money to feed my family? Or, when I have the money, do I pay off debt, to be able to have the money that's coming in to do the right thing with?
That's right. I mean, the way you ought to look at it like that is we're in severe debt down here, right? There's been spending going on irresponsibly. And let's say our grandfather died and he left us this big inheritance. So are we going to say, hey, we're not paying off any debt. We're going to keep all of our debt and we're going to spend all of this inheritance this year on fun stuff? Or will you say, hey, I've been given a gift by my grandfather and I'm going to be responsible with it. I'm going to get myself out of this bind. I'm going to pull myself up by the bootstraps, and I'm going to put this state on the right course.
I love it. Well, is there anything else about that? Or
That's good. That's about it.
Is that something else that people can call and encourage their legislatures
to hold solid?
To hold solid on a spending cap.
Don't bust the spending cap.
Bust the spending cap, and don't act like a drunken sailor.
That's right.
I love it. Representative McCormick, I heard the bell ring. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Everybody else, if you don't want the spending cap raised and you want our legislators to be responsible and do what you've elected them to do, then please call and demand that they spend our money the right way. Thank you so much.
Have a great day.